Hello YouTube, this is the Narrowbin. I've been away for quite a while from vlogging, aside from a weekly group of The Dark Eye, which you can find on a playlist, which I will complete after I upload this video on my channel or on JdrD30, Francois, who tagged me for a 15 questions video, which I'm going to answer now. Since YouTube thinks I'm a spam bot, I will have to cut this video into smaller chunks to upload it, as I'm been disallowed from uploading longer videos than 15 minutes. And I don't want to speed answer the questions. Okay, so now that the formalities are out of the way, what was the first system you played? The first system I played was The Dark Eye, first edition, when my cousin basically gave me his old fantasy stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he grew out of it or something. And the first thing was a choose your own adventure style adventure from the Book of Adventures, with the basic set, which was later heavily censored for its graphical display of violence and nudity. Yes, you can see a shoulder there naked. Yeah, that's the 80s for you. Yeah, so I played that, and with this set of The Dark Eye, I also got this, which is the German translation of the, I don't know, Withered or Sorcerer of Flametop Mountain, which I also played quite heavily, though I don't think I ever finished it. But for at least a decade, I had a small rhyme in my head, which I think alludes to an American baseball player. Anyway, yeah, so basically I started with choose your own adventure style books, and then I think the next thing I actually played with other people was Hero Quest, for which I did a lot of maps back then. Yeah, so I think that was the first inkling that I wanted to be a GM at some point. Okay, second question. First character. Actually, the first character at least I can remember. I think I probably made a couple of more that I never played. And there are some I did play, but only once, so I don't remember them very clearly. Is the one from which I derive the name of this channel, or my internet handle rather, which was a Tremere, which was the first vampire character that I ever made, called Narrowbin, which is a fantasy name that I just made up because it sounded possible at the time. And yeah, yeah, he wasn't a very distinctive character at first. I don't think I ever played the first incarnation of him. In the game of Friend, I played him as an NPC later, in which he well, he didn't shine very much because he, as I said, was an NPC, so he was just there to enable the players to do some things and to give them a couple of information hints. And in the third incarnation, I played in a Vampire Live game, where he basically was, aside from the name, he was revamped. He was revised completely. Just the name and the clan stayed the same, and he became a kind of an old Prussian scholar who believed in the virtues of the army and keeping your boots clean. and he became the head of the, or at least unofficial head, because he never made it to the rank of regent, Tremere in our city. And he eventually was retired because he well, he wasn't on very good standing with his humanity, and I fear he tortured once too often. But of course, we don't do that to nice people. Yeah, so that's the first character I ever made, and his different incarnations. My favorite system. First, when I read this, I thought this was about setting, but it isn't, because that's question 6. So my favorite setting, and if I will basically say this rules as written, because that makes the choice much easier. I think then it's World of Darkness, the old one. I do think that the New World of Darkness has quite a lot of improvements on the old system. Yet I don't really like the setting as much. So the perfect solution for me would probably be New World of Darkness rules and Old World of Darkness setting. Though in part the rules are so heavily connected to the settings that I'm not sure that's quite easily done. The translation guide was a move into that direction, but well, it's yeah, probably a topic for an entire video. The favorite character you've played. Actually, this is a tough one. I didn't think it would be one, but when I thought about this, there came a lot of characters to my mind that I had completely forgotten I had, and which I remembered then very fondly. And I'm still not quite sure which one I should choose. I will probably take the one that I thought of initially, because he's also my least favorite character, or at least was, because of the way he was created. And it is a not World of Darkness. It is a Dark Eye character, which I created for the 3rd edition, and in that you basically rolled up your life path. At least up to a certain point, just for the history of the character, not for any game stats. And basically he was the orphan whose parents had been terribly killed, which is stereotypical enough. But not only that, his adoptive parents had been killed, and his second adoptive parents had been killed. You can see it was kind of well over the top, and at the time I thought, I really don't want to play this emotional cripple, because quite realistically that person probably wouldn't have made it into adulthood. And so I tried to do my best with it, and he was a very depressed character, because everyone around him who showed him the slightest bit of affection surely was to be killed. And eventually his 3rd parents were also killed, but that's probably also something for an entirely different video. Yeah. And he basically did what, or rather I was pushed into the direction of making him a warrior, because that was basically what was lacking in the group at the time. If you do the standard of having a mage, a nature character, which was the elf, a rogue, and then you need someone to take and give hit points. Yeah, and so I played this character for a while, and at some point, I don't know specifically when, I had the turning point, which had a lot to do with inter-character play, because we didn't just do the quests. We also did a lot of interaction on the side. It was actually quite slow going if you consider how long we played and how many adventures we played, which probably shaped much of how I do my own gaming. Yeah, and what was very interesting for me was that he was a strong believer in a couple of gods, though not. He did not particularly believe that they are necessarily good, and so he fought with his inner demons for a very long time, and he basically he alienated himself from everyone in his group, even though those were the only people that he loved. Yeah, there were some pretty horrific times if you consider him from the standpoint of a normal human. But yeah, he was a very, very fun character to play, and I played him for almost 5 years, 8 to 12 hours a week, sometimes more. Yeah. Okay, so I've ruffled on long enough. And for NPC, my favorite NPC is definitely Montrose from Las Vegas in Vampire the Masquerade. I'm not getting him as hoarse as he really is when I play him. I liked him because he's the guy with the plan. He has an idea of what's happening. I think he's probably the one character that I played that had it most figured out what was going on. And he was quite sassy to the people around him. He didn't feel that he had to kiss anyone's ass because the entire city rested on his shoulders. If you want to know who I'm talking about, you can find him in the introductory short story in the Camarilla Guide, or Guide to the Camarilla. And he's also mentioned in, yeah, basically in anything World of Darkness related, old World of Darkness, that is concerning itself with Las Vegas.